Welcome to Current Affairs with Faraz, your trusted source for unbiased, in-depth analysis of global geopolitical developments. We cover the clear facts and realistic insights. No hype, no bias. Stay sharp, stay informed. The streets are burning. Protesters have reportedly overrun a military base, a line that has never been crossed quite like this before. And in the capital, the president of Iran isn't making threats on television. No, he's making a desperate plea for calm, warning his own people that an outside attack is on the horizon, and the nation itself is at risk of falling apart. All right, let's dive right into this. What we're examining here are reports that describe the most dangerous wave of protests to hit Iran in more than 6 years. And look, this isn't just another demonstration. The analysis we're seeing suggests the scale and the intensity are on a completely different level, and it's putting the entire nation on edge. And to really get a sense of the scope, you have to picture the map here. This is not some localized incident in the capital. No, this unrest has spread like wildfire. Some reports are indicating that more than 25 cities are completely engulfed. We're talking about a wave of anger that is just sweeping across the entire country. Exactly, and these are not just peaceful marches. What's being described are direct and often violent confrontations with the state's most elite security forces, the Pasdaran, also known as the IRGC. You've got government buildings being targeted, and in a really serious escalation, the first death of a Pasdaran member has now been confirmed. But the most critical development, as we heard right at the top, is that protesters have reportedly taken over a military base, and that's a direct challenge to the state's power. So that's the what. A nation in turmoil, with protests hitting a level of intensity we haven't seen in years. But the real question is why? Why now? Well, the analysis points to one main reason. The economy has become a tinderbox. And for millions of people, the message is simple. Enough is enough. Yeah, that phrase really just captures the mood on the ground perfectly. According to the reports we're looking at, years and years of economic hardship have basically boiled the public mood down to this single, defiant message. It's the spark that lit the tinderbox we were just talking about. And that economic pressure really comes down to two crippling factors. First, the national currency has just plummeted to a critical low, which means people's savings, their salaries, they're worth a fraction of what they used to be. And because of that, inflation has just skyrocketed. The cost of basic things, we're talking food, fuel, it's become unbearable for millions. People have just hit their breaking point. But, as all this internal pressure is building, there's another element at play here, a much more shadowy one. The reports we're seeing indicate the Iranian government isn't just treating this as a domestic uprising. They are pointing the finger outward. And that raises this really explosive question. Is this chaos actually being fueled by foreign interference? And this is where the story just takes a wild turn. The analysis describes this layer of alleged foreign involvement in stunningly dramatic detail. It even includes this public claim, supposedly from Israel's intelligence agency, Mossad, tweeting in Farsi and openly telling protesters, "Our people are among you, we stand with you." I mean, that is an unbelievably bold and direct claim of involvement. Right, and the pressure isn't just coming from intelligence agencies. You have political figures, too. The analysis highlights the heir of the former Shah, Reza Pahlavi, who is quoted sending a crystal-clear message to the protesters. You topple the government, and I will be on the very next flight. That adds a whole other layer of external political pressure to the situation. So this really lays out the two powerful forces at play here. On one side, you have these very real, very genuine internal drivers, the economic collapse and the raw public anger that's come from it. But on the other side, you have these significant external pressures, including these allegations of foreign agents on the ground and just overt support from figures abroad. It's a truly combustible mix. And this combination of internal and external pressure, it raises the stakes dramatically. We're not just talking about protests over the economy anymore. We're now talking about the potential for a full-blown regime change. And that's a scenario that would put not just Iran, but the entire region right on the brink. In fact, Iran's president has explicitly warned his own people about this. He's claiming the country is facing the threat of an external attack, and he's framing these protests as the potential trigger for what the reports are calling a regime change operation, basically using internal chaos to topple the government from within, a tactic that's been historically linked with agencies like the CIA. And the source we're analyzing goes even further. It alleges that regional adversaries, specifically Israel, have a clear strategic playbook they want to see unfold. Step 1. Fuel that internal unrest we've been talking about. Step 2. Use the chaos to neutralize military bases. Step 3. Target the country's top leadership. And the final step, 4. Install a new, more favorable regime. The ultimate goal of an operation like that, according to the report, would be to completely shatter Iran's strategic alliances. A new government would almost certainly sever the country's deep ties with both China and Russia, and that would completely redraw the geopolitical map of the Middle East.
It is a deeply volatile situation. You have this combination of genuine domestic anger and these very serious allegations of foreign interference, and it's created a powder keg with immense consequences for both the people of Iran and the stability of the entire region, which of course leaves us with this one critical question.
Thanks for joining Current Affairs with Faraz. Subscribe for more real analysis, and we'll see you in the next update.